I met with a pastor today. And the reason I met with a pastor today is because I'm thinking about and researching getting baptized. I wasn't baptized. I don't know if I was baptized as a kid, to be honest, because I lost my parents. So I don't know. I really don't know. I did go to church a lot, a lot. I was very, very into church. But I've been thinking about this for the last couple of years that I really want to be closer to God and want to be closer to Jesus. And but here's the thing. I was scared to talk to any of the pastors because they not all Christians, but some Christians believe things like crystals and shamanism and Buddhism and all these things, Hinduism, even, all these other religions and all these other practices are of the devil, that they're not of God. They believe that. And I was like, well, I practice shamanism. I love shamanism. I love connecting with the land spirits. I love connecting with spirits. And I've done a lot of meditation work on this. I've done journey work around the guides, right? Like, are the guides of the light? Are the guides with God? And all I can go by is my own experience and how I feel in my body and how I feel when I speak to the spirits and when I speak to the guides and the master teachers. And every answer, even when I speak directly to Jesus, or what I perceive as directly to Jesus, is that these are more of they're energetic disciples of God. Because just like on the dark side, right, there are demons and dark spirits and things like that, and that part is more aligned with Satanism. Now, if this is like, if we want to break this down into biblical terms, right, the Satan over here, God over here, and they've been at war for what, I don't know how many years now, thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Satan wanted to be the big dog, and God was like, no. But Satan came in, started wreaking havoc. So if you want to look at it in this black and white thing, it's like, there are dark spirits, and then the spirits that I work with, the angels that I work with, the spirits are of God and of light. So I've really given this a lot of thought. And the reason I'm leaning toward the baptism and talking to this pastor, and he was great, and I answered all his questions, and I told him exactly the work I do. He's very open to it. His only thing was like, if God or Jesus asked you to put everything down, like to leave your home, do these radical questions of surrender, would you do it? I don't know the answer to that right now. If God came to me and it was like God or Jesus, and I knew it was God or Jesus, they said, change your life and do this. Most likely, yes. Most likely, I would move into surrender and say, okay, because every step of the way of everything I've done, big things I've done, has been led by spirit, led by God. So as we're going into this really wild time of this world, personally, I have been seeing things more black and white than I normally do. Now, guides and spirits and crystals, that's very nuanced, right? But I've been seeing things as like God, devil, especially in the past couple of years. Ever since the pandemic, I've been like seeing God, devil. And all I want to do is be with God. God, 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 and being really careful of all of the sneaky ways that the devil can get in. And I'm just going to use the word devil. If that triggers you, I'm sorry. This is just the word I'm going to be using for this talk, because this is like the point I'm going to be making is, in the Bible, it's like, it is that kind of black and white, right? You sin, you don't sin, devil, God. But the reason I'm telling you this is because in this lifetime, in this, since this has all been going down since COVID, I've been like, really, like, I crave being near God. I crave getting to know who Jesus is, as well as doing my spiritual work. I want that big umbrella around me. I want to feel that, especially as we're going into deeper entanglement of the times that we're in. And I also believe with the times that we are in, that the vibration is raising. I do believe this, and I can feel it. I don't know if Satan's on his way out. I don't know that, but it's kind of feeling that way to me. But I'm not sure. But all I know is I want to be on the right side of God. And so having this conversation with this pastor was fascinating. Like, I studied the Bible in college, Old and New Testament. I loved that stuff. I loved he was like, what about when you, because I stopped going to church after I was molested at 13. I was molested by a youth pastor. And so I was like, just like so many people, I'm done with religion. I'm not done with God. I'm not done with God, but I'm done with religion. That's how I felt. That's how I felt. And I just, boom, done. And then last since COVID, I'm like, I want to be in church again. I want to feel God. I want that, I don't want to do it alone anymore. I want to be in the community, and I haven't found a community yet, even though I go to the Unity Church. It's not like I love those people, but many of them are a lot older than I am. I'm looking for, and I'm 51 years old. It's like, I'm looking for, that community to commune with God. And so when I got after the molestation, I turned my back on religion. I was like, but I told the pastor, I turned my back on religion, but I never turned my back on God. And I went deeper in like exploring spirituality, taking classes on Buddhism, studying shamanism, studying energy medicine, studying breath work. I didn't do yoga. I was never a yoga person, but like doing studying these different modalities and different religions. I was a little bit of Hindu. Like, I'm so fascinated by it. And he was just listening, he was just listening. And I said, now I feel like my path has brought me back to Jesus, brought me back. And I want to be baptized. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go to the church. I'm going to sit with it. I'm going to read the book of John in the Bible per his recommendation, and pray and pray. All I want for you, and all I want for me, is for us to live a life where we feel as if we're connected to the God of our understanding. Everything else will fall into place. I know it's a shit show out there. I'm so exhausted by the whole election stuff. Like, I don't even want to go on Facebook anymore. Like, people are so mean, and like, all I can do, and I don't get involved in those. I do not get involved in those, even though there's some days I want to write something. I'll be, Beth, no, nope, pull it back, because it's pointless. People are going to think what they're going to think, and people's anger and people's like hatred, inner hatred, is getting projected onto these candidates, whether it's Trump or whether it's Harris. Your inner hatred, people's inner hatred is getting projected onto them. It's so easy to hate. Look at the hate that you have towards someone else instead of look at the hate that you have in yourself, or toward yourself. Trump is set up for people to hate. The media fills it, feeds it. Oh my God, do they feed it? They feed it. And then the other camp, Harris is set up to hate, right? It's the same thing. Like, how much do you hate her? How much do you hate her? Right? Like, oh my gosh, on both sides. And so I'm getting off track. But my point in sharing this with you is, this is a time to be close to God. And for me, it's like, God is going to take care of it. God's going to take care of all this whole mess we're in. God, we get to come back on track. And it is up to us. Nobody's going to save us. Not politician, not Elon Musk, not your mom, not your dad, not your brother, not your sister. No one's going to save us but us. It is all an inner game. And this is why I love teaching the spiritual warrior programs, because it is an inner game of power. It is an inner personal journey of like, where are you? Where are you in relationship to your higher power? Where are you in relationship to your heart? We got to be careful out there, right? Being mindful of what we place our attention on. And I am guilty of getting distracted and being like, oh, I want to look and read this over here and do that. And it's just distraction. So I will keep you posted on what I decide to do. I'm going to go to this dinner on Wednesday night, kind of like look over the dinner at the church. And the topic, something like, is the Bible real, or was the Bible Like, is the Bible actually the Bible? Like, is it actually a holy text, or is it something that somebody wrote? You know what I mean? Maybe a combination of both. I don't know. We're going to go see what they have to say, but I'm open. I'm super, super open. And the last thing I'll say is, if you donated to PJ the horse, I put out an email, and to Kate last Thursday. Oh my God, my heart goes out to you. Thank you so much. And if you try, I mean, seriously, thank you. Thank you. It was so generous, so generous. Some people donated $5. Some people donated $200. There was a big range. And I don't even care the amount. The fact that someone would take out their credit card and do that for that horse and for my trainer, I was just like, oh my gosh, my community is amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But there was a glitch. A couple people wrote me. When there's 2 people that write me, I know there's like 20 people behind them having the same thing, that they went to watch the video about me talking about PJ, and this warning came up that said Beth Osmer's email, or Beth Osmer is not authenticated, or there's something wrong. I don't know exactly. It was a warning. So people jumped and were scared, and I get it, right? Like, I get it. So we figured it out. It was something that the internet server wanted money for. Like, they wanted me, even though I've had this website for 2 decades almost, they wanted $300 for me to authenticate my website, and then they would take that message down. God, let me just it's like, that's the time of prayer. Oh, you just want my money, just want my money. So we gave the $300, and it's now fixed happily. And then the other side note is, the same company, GoDaddy, has been quarantining my emails for the past couple of months. They quarantine them and hold them hostage until they deem they're worth releasing, or we have to go into the system and release the emails. It's such a pain in the butt. It's such a pain in the butt. And yeah, it's like, anyway, so if you've been trying to get a hold of me and I haven't been answering your emails, it's literally because they were quarantined. It had nothing to do with me not wanting to talk to you. Believe me, when you write me an email, it's like, even if it's just to say hi, or to say thank you, or to say I resonated with what you said, I love them. I love it. And especially if you write an email and saying, could you support me, and you don't hear from me, that's hard for me. Like, so please know, if you do email me, I will get back to you. I will get back to you. They might just be in quarantine. What a weird name. Anyway, I'll keep you posted on everything. You are amazing. This community is amazing. It's taken me years to build it to where we are right now, and it's going to continue building. And we need to be a strong spiritual community as we go into the cuckoo craziness of the next few months. But we're like, I love to think of us as a raft, right? Like a big spiritual raft, that you come on the raft and we got you, right? We got you. All of our quirkiness and all of our lovingness and all of our like curiosity and joy, all of it. All right, my name is Beth Osmer, and I will see you on the next one.